Hello, Hello, everybody. Father Leroy Shirel here. I'm still trying to get used to these masks after so long. Welcome to another episode of my Cabin Fever Faith. This one I'm entitling The Spirit's Rhythms in Our Life. And I'm here with Peter Vogel. He's a good friend of mine. Peter, you were with me, and I think in our second episode, way back in March of Cabin Fever, and that was entitled From Shelter to Shepherd. And so we have Pete here for a repeat performance. I'm going to have him sing a little song today. And one of the songs he's written because he's a talented musician and songwriter and belongs to one of our parishes here in our ACC. To begin with, I want to read a quote from one of my favorite passages in the Old Testament. And it's a familiar one, I think, that all of you recognize. It's from Ecclesiastes, and it's about God's timing in our life, And it goes like this. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. There is an appointed time for everything, and a time for every affair under the heavens. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to uproot the plant. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to tear down, and a time to build. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them. A time to embrace, and a time to be far from embraces. A time to seek, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to be silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time of war, and a time of peace. I have considered the task which God has appointed for people to be busied about. He has made everything appropriate to its time and has put the timeless into their hearts, without us ever discovering or from beginning to end the work that God has done. I recognize that there is nothing better than to be glad and to do well during life. For every person, moreover, to eat and drink and enjoy the fruit of all his labor is a gift from God. I recognize that whatever God does will endure forever. There is no adding to it or taking from it. Thus has God done that it may be revered. I like this reading because it really talks about the rhythms in our life, how things in our life ebb and flow, and there's a time for everything, whether it's a time of joy, a time of sadness, a time to build, a time to tear down. And that's part of the Spirit's rhythms, I think, in our own lives. And if you think about it, that's such a big part of our life. Even every breath we take has a rhythm, has a pattern. In fact, the Hebrew word for spirit, remember the name of our cabin fever is the Spirit's rhythms in our lives. The Hebrew word for spirit is ruah, which is the same word for breath or air or life. And so the ancients had a real organic connection or understanding of the Spirit. Every breath they took was a reliance, dependence on the Spirit, breathing the Spirit in, breathing out. There are other rhythms in life, every heartbeat we take. The Earth's revolution around the sun, the seasons in our lives, our work and our play, our nights and our days, so many of those things I think God works through in our life, and it's the Spirit that speaks to us through those things. And I think that's one reason why music really connects with us, especially music with words. It really helps those words sink deeper in our soul because it connects with that rhythm, that timing that God has put in our own lives. So I've invited Pete here to sing one of his songs that he's written, and what's that song called?
Take your time.
Take your time. So let's hear it, Pete, and hope you're going to enjoy it.
Take your time. Try to comprehend the things that God is telling you. Take your time. You need to listen if you really want to hear. Take your time. He will tell you what to do to to help you change your life. Take your time, it will show you that you do not need to fear. Life goes by far too quickly, my friend. Before you know it, you're facing the end. So many ways that your time could be spent. Spend it wisely, my friend. Spend it wisely, my friend. Take your time, get to know the people that God places in your life. Take your time, there's a reason why He puts them in your way. Take your time, figure out the things that only you are meant to do. Take your time, live your life completely in the day. We are only given so much time, only so many footsteps we can take. God needs help in completing His plan, so take a look around, take a look around. If you fall, get back up on that road, and you'll learn from your every mistake. Share your life with all those you can, don't you let it get you down, let it get you down. Take your time, be patient with the people who are rushing you. Take your time, learn to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Take your time, it isn't caring deeply that you win the prize. Take your time, let a golden heart and soul become your wealth. Life goes by far too quickly, my friend. Before you know it, you're facing the end. So many ways that your time could be spent. Spend it wisely, my friend. Spend it wisely, my friend. Take your time.
All right, thank you, Pete. Great job. Yeah, take your time. There's a time and place for everything under the sun, and God speaks to that through those rhythms, I should say. Yeah, in our life, and so I leave you with this question: what season is in your life that God is speaking to us? So what song or what message is God bringing to you, and those as your life ebbs and flows day in and day out, and pay attention to that. Take time to listen to the Spirit working in those rhythms of your life and speaking to you, especially in these challenging times, right?
Amen.
Yeah, we're social distancing, so we're doing our best. I'm still trying to get used to that, but yeah, we'll continue to pray for the best and yeah, put it in God's hands ultimately. So, but in the meantime, we need to take that time to listen to God's voice speaking to us and that song that God is playing to us, and yeah, see the Lord's Spirit working through the rhythms of our life. Father Uri Shiro signing off once again. My good friend Peter Vogel. Thank you, Pete, for being with us today. And
You're welcome, Father.
yeah,
God bless you all.
yep. Until we see each other again, keep praying for each other, huh?